Hi, Macy from Bake Happy Love. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to this channel. I've put together a lot of amazing information to support you on your path to love. So if you're a single woman and you're tired of collecting mediocre relationships, or what I like to call bargain brand relationships, and you're longing to have that person that adores everything about you, you're in the right place. So I will be sharing with you yoga, meditations, teachings, and interviews with some great experts on body image, self-love, and creating your special love vibe so that you can take a step towards love. So I really hope you enjoy this video. Satnam.
And if I ride my bike, it's to get from A to B, yeah. Not a challenge physically.
Hi, Macy from Big Happy Love, and this is Lily Calfee, and today we are talking about food, self-love, and body image. And your business is called Ideal Nourishment.
Yeah.
And you just have the most magical way with food and helping women really understand how to take care of themselves in a completely modern way. And I think it's so beautiful and so fun, and you have the greatest energy. So I'm so excited to just share your wisdom with women.
Yeah, I'm excited too. This is great.
So tell me a little bit about how you kind of discovered your philosophy on eating and food.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I went to school for art for undergrad. So I majored in painting and tried to be a professional artist for like 6 months in Portland, Oregon, and I didn't like it. So I started a pie company. I grew up in rural Vermont where you are connected to the food that you eat.
Right.
You go to school with the farmers' kids whose milk you drink and whose meat you eat, and you're connected. And so I'd always been in that world, and I thought, a pie company, how fun. I'll work with these local producers, and I'll get butter from here and flour from here and fruit from here, and it'll be this wonderful thing for my community, which I'm sure it was. But after 3 years of eating pie and drinking coffee for breakfast every morning.
Oh, sounds like such a good breakfast.
I know, it sounds like a dream life. That's what was really hard, is I was like, I'm living the dream life. I have an amazing partner. I live in a big, beautiful house up on a hill. I have a job that I love. I'm the boss. And I was wicked depressed.
Really?
Yeah. I would sugar and caffeine up and go to work and direct the team and sell a lot and be super cheery and wear cute things in my hair and pretty little dresses and pink blush. And then I would come back and clean the bakery and collapse. And
wow.
I was on this roller coaster.
So you were like the Laura Ingalls colonial pie maker, but super
sugarholic.
on
Yeah.
the Nellie Olson side, right? You're probably too young to understand that reference.
Laura Ingalls,
but,
I got.
Okay. So yeah, I feel like that happens a lot to women.
Yeah.
I mean, I recognize my own little food addictions, and I hear that, food impacts our mood, but it's sometimes it's hard to connect those dots. How do we do that?
It is hard because we're kind of socialized to believe that women get exhausted and women can't do it all, and all of these things that magazines are writing about and podcasts are talking about is we have a pretty rough go of it, so how do I know that this isn't just normal?
Right.
And I don't think I did. I think I can picture a very clear moment lying on the floor of my bakery that was very clean, being this cannot be how life is. There's got to be a different way to do things. And I had not a clue that it had to do with what I was eating.
Okay.
And there's a woman who lives in upstate New York whose name is Karen Witzig Brazel. She's amazing. She's a total health professional herself, but I was her nanny. And she came to buy pie for me one day, and she was like, we gotta talk about this. You gotta read this book on sugar cravings.
Oh, really?
Yep, and she was like, you gotta check out IIN, the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, because she was giving some like workshops and seminars and stuff through them, and it just like lit this little tiny light bulb, like maybe I can do something about the way that I feel.
Okay.
And so that was like the first foray into like, okay, I've always loved creativity, I've always loved food, but this like, it's an overused phrase, but self-empowerment. It's like, I can do something about my life.
So when did it feel better? Because oftentimes I feel like it seems like, okay, you're gonna have to quit sugar for weeks, and then like quitting all these things, and then you feel deprived, and then you want to binge again, and then it's like,
I mean, that's the magic that we're working with now. Like what I did was a crash course, and I wouldn't recommend it. I did quit sugar, and it was, I mean, I quit everything. I sold the business, I broke up with my boyfriend, I rented out the house, I quit sugar, I left Vermont, I started nutrition school. It was like, deprivation, a lot of that, yeah. I was excelling at depriving myself of comfort. That's not what I think you should do or anyone else should do.
Right.
The shift is, I eat this way, meaning the way that I eat today, because I so value this vehicle, this like physical body that carries my spirit, soul, consciousness through the world. I so value this vehicle that I'm going to take the best care of it that I can. And so when I eat buffalo burgers on my salad with avocado cashew salad dressing, or green smoothies, or all the other ridiculous things that I've been eating this week because I've been living alone, so it's been like
fancy
just like crazy green
cashew
food
dressing,
that like
fancy
no one else would want to eat. So when I eat that way, because that's like the best gasoline that I can give my vehicle.
Right.
And when I run well, I get to change the world. You know, when I'm on my game, and when I'm clear, and when I'm focused, and when I'm well slept and well exercised, like that's when I can show up for my clients the best. That's when I show up the best in my relationship. That's when I like have the biggest impact. And that's what's important.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So on those lines, because like often I talk to women in, you know, helping them find love in their life. And one of the biggest things is, you know, especially for women who haven't dated for a while, or, you know, maybe they got divorced and they're older and their bodies are changing. There's a lot of disconnection between them and their body, or there's fear about getting naked. I mean, that's a real thing. Like, to get into a relationship again, we're thinking, we're gonna have to get naked here.
Yeah.
So how would you help women to get there?
The first thing is that it takes time, patience, and compassion.
Right.
That you can't just like logically tell yourself, this is my body and it's beautiful, and then feel really good about yourself all the time.
Okay, that's important to say again. So time, patience, compassion.
Yeah. And compassion means like, oh, I'm being compassionate towards myself by like resting after work, or I'm being compassionate towards myself by wearing comfortable shoes. But it also means being compassionate when you make mistakes.
Right.
Or being compassionate when you fall off the bandwagon.
Right.
So like this cycle that we get into is like, okay, I'm only gonna think self-loving, body positive thoughts today. And then you're like, what is it? What is that? Ugh. And then you start beating yourself up for having that negative thought about the zit, and it's just like this.
Right. Yeah.
So every moment is a new moment.
Okay. This is helpful. Okay.
Yeah.
So to stop that snowball effect,
Yeah.
like just recognizing that we can continuously make new choices.
Yeah.
Which I think is really important in so many areas of our life, but like I can imagine like you couldn't have that moment where you choose that chocolate kiss because you were, you know,
Right.
at the secretary desk and it just happened.
Yeah.
right?
And like you're not a bad person, and the next minute you're gonna get to make another choice. So it's self-compassion even when you mess up. And I think part of that, like the next level of that, is realizing that your mess ups, your mistakes, like make you who you are, and who you are is what's valuable to the world. Like,
cool.
I didn't waste 3 years painting.
Right.
You know, I didn't waste 3 years selling pies. I put time towards projects that I don't, that I didn't capitalize on. But all of that always builds towards who you are. And I think, I was saying before, it's really easy for me to say that because I'm relatively young in the world. But what's amazing about older women is that they have all of these experiences. They have this collection of like, wow, I really messed up there, or I totally killed it in that situation, or I'm so proud of the way that I did this project. And all of that builds up, and that's how you get to be, mentally and physically, the person you are today.
Right. Right. I love that, because often too, I think people can reflect back on those times when it was really good and just be like, it was so good then, and be stuck in the past, or I really screwed up like that. So how can we build a healthy relationship with food?
Yeah. So it's not about knowing what to eat.
Okay.
You can very easily find out what you should be eating if you don't already know. We live in Boulder where most people know what they ought to be eating. And if you don't know what to be eating, I can refer you to someone. But most likely it's not about what should I be eating. It's about how do I get myself to eat that way.
Okay.
And so that's less about the relationship with food and more about the relationship with yourself. And so I do this sort of visualization with clients.
Ooh, cool.
Where you sort of call up a photo or an image of yourself as a 3 or 4 year old. Funny little haircut and sundress and whatever you were doing when you were 3 or 4. Sort of generally like the biggest problem in your life was like you fell over. And the best day of your life was when someone was like, here, have a popsicle.
Yeah,
that's the scope of human experience. And you practice talking to that self when you're talking to yourself. And I actually encourage people to like visualize that little girl with them always. So like she's always sitting next to me. So if I'm like, oh, Lil, you're such a jerk, you were 15 minutes late for Macy. She's like, I'm a jerk? And it makes her feel really bad.
Right.
And that's like a really good mirror for me to be like, whoa, that's not how you speak to people you love.
Right. That's so great. Another kind of tool to help us choose again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I just love hearing you talk about food. You're so creative with it, and you really do bring it to this like idea that we can really create self-love through this tool.
Yeah. I eat the way that I do because it's a way to show myself love. And it's a way for my body, my physical body, to experience like, oh, this consciousness cares about me. And when you like reinforce that sort of subconscious learning in yourself, you start to value yourself more. So you make other choices to value yourself. If you make breakfast for yourself 5 days in a row, every morning you make breakfast for yourself, the likelihood is you'll probably start making another meal for yourself also. On an even bigger scale, when you see like, if I make breakfast every morning, I have more energy and more focus, and I'm better at work, and I make more money, and I feel better in my clothes, and my hair looks nicer. And you see what's possible out of making choices from this place of self-love, it's easier to make choices like asking for a raise, or quitting your day job and starting a private practice, or leaving a crummy relationship, or standing up for your rights in a great relationship. You like build this muscle of like, I have an effect on the way that I feel. Like I can cook this food and feel this great, so I can do what, I can take the action step in whatever area of my life and feel great also.
Cool. Okay, cool. Thank you. So another question I'm really curious about is around intuition in our food choices.
Yes.
Is there anything valid there?
Yes. I talk about this a lot.
You do? Okay, good.
Because intuition seems like it's the voice that's like, eat the chocolate on the secretary's desk.
Uh-huh.
Right? That's like this little voice who's like, just do it. It's rare. It's right there. It's like free. It's waiting for you. That's not intuition.
Right.
I don't know who that is. That's like my 17-year-old self who like was straight edge and needed some way to rebel, so ate sugar.
Right.
So, okay, she's like another conversation we'll deal with you later. Intuition is the wisest part of you. It's the part of you who has been at every moment of your life from birth through death. It is a part of you that knows that everything works out okay because there's actually no alternative. For me, that voice does not reside up here. She's like somewhere deeper.
Yep.
You know? You get really, really quiet and you like listen to all the little monkey chatter, and then you listen for like the deeper, earthier voice who like knows what she really wants. And you just start asking her about stuff. What do you want? What do you want right now? You stand in front of the fridge and you say, what do you want? Not like, what do all these voices want? Or, you know, you sit down on a first date and it's the same thing. You listen.
Right.
Like the rational stuff has nothing to do with it. Like, listen to if this is what your body wants.
Right. That's really good. I love that. I love that because it is that wisdom that brings us into flow, and I like that you're offering some space for that voice to come up.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. As we grow older, and I know you're young, but you've helped a lot of women, all ages, with a lot of different challenges with body and food. But like as we grow older, our bodies start changing.
Yeah.
And you know, we have these things, we have age spots, we have this, we have that. Like, I mean, even in healthy bodies, we may have a little pooch. Like, what is the key to like helping women embrace those things?
It kind of goes back to that little girl who I was talking about. You know, she falls down and gets a big scar, or if she's born with spots on her face or something, you would never look at her and go, oh, you are less valuable because of the way that you look. And so that's like kind of heady and theoretical, but it's treating yourself in that same way. You know, you have appreciation for where you are and gratitude for where you are. And I think something that you're always talking about is like playfulness.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I got. And I can like talk myself into loving it, or I can just like be soft with it and just be goofy with it and just say, this is what I have, and practice compassion, practice talking to myself in the way that I would talk to a little baby girl. Yeah, my mom just turned 60 last year and was diagnosed with melanoma and had a big quarter-sized hunk cut out of her cheek and was just so heartbroken, and she lives back on the East Coast, so I didn't see it. We were just talking on the phone all the time. And then like 6 months later, Noah and I went back to visit her. My uncle was getting married, and it was the first time that Noah had really spent time with my mom. And after walking away from hanging out with her for a little while, he was like, man, your mom is such a babe. And I just wish that I could like capture that, like soundbite and play it for her, because he didn't even notice that she has a scar like across her face. And what he picked up on was she's super charming and vivacious. She was with people that she loves. She was doing something that she loved. Like her job is still what she loves to do, and she spends her time and she's in the sun, which is wonderful. It's like this is the life that she loves, and that's what shows up.
Yeah, oh, that's so helpful, I think. I mean, really recognizing how much of our energy comes through in those situations.
Yeah, and that, it's about your energy. And your energy flows out of your physical body. So in that way, your body matters and take care of it and all that.
Right.
But it's about how you feel and how you make other people feel.
Right. And in turn, like what we put in our body creates that feeling too.
Right.
So I love that it's actually a huge cycle.
Totally. It's like an infinity symbol.
Yeah. Wow. That's really cool. And I think just bringing that awareness actually connects us more to our body. I know at times when I feel really scattered and I'm not eating well and I'm not sleeping well, often I just feel like a head.
Oh,
like
totally.
I don't even acknowledge there's more.
Right.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So I really love what you share. Is there anything else that you want to share with women that you feel like is important?
I think the most important thing is that you have the power to transform your own experience.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it with food. You can do it by getting into or out of a relationship. You can do it by changing your job. But like, you are the creator of your own life.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, you had described that before. I mean, really, we can live by sort of default and just like crumble, like you push through the pie business.
Right.
Or we can create, you know, the energy we want so that we can actually serve in a big way.
Yeah.
And we get to choose again, over and over again, like you
Right.
share. And I think that that's a really powerful lesson.
Cool.
I really do, because I teach that too, and I feel like it's easy to get on that snowball and just tumble downward, but if we can recognize that there are these split seconds that we can wake up and choose again,
Yeah.
it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank
You're
you,
welcome.
thank
This is
you.
wonderful.
Ideal Nourishment, and we'll share information about Lily's work on the video, and you can reach out to her and get coaching sessions, right? Or
Yeah.
more
I mean,
than that?
I do one-on-one coaching. I have a couple of small groups called Create Happiness, and I also lead a group called Self-Care for Entrepreneurs. And I'm co-hosting a retreat in October that will be about self-care for your body and your business. So those are all really exciting.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Macy.
Bye, everyone.
'Cause what I feel is free. And I can't stand the men who hide behind their feelings. It's unattractive to me.